You're listening to the Femtrepreneur Show, and this is episode 34. And in this episode, we're talking about whether or not you should use paid Facebook ads when launching your first course the first time. Hey guys, I'm Mariah.
And I'm Megan, and today we are answering a question we get asked a lot, and I think a lot of business owners feel like everyone's using Facebook ads. So the question is, do I need to spend thousands of dollars on ads to make money with courses? I don't know about you, but anytime I'm on Facebook, I am just smothered with ads. And that's not bad, but it makes you feel like everyone's using ads.
Totally.
So I'm really glad that we get to address this topic.
We get the question of sometimes when we're so we'll explain, no, we teach all free and organic methods. We actually don't teach Facebook ads. In our programs, Your First 1K and Launch Your Signature course, we don't teach Facebook ads. And people are like, but then how do you, what do you do? What is the alternative? And there's so many ways to build your list and launch your course using organic and free marketing methods. And a lot of people are surprised and think it's really cool that we only teach free and organic marketing methods. Mostly because that's been our experience. We built our business into a multi-million-dollar business before we ever spent money on ads, which is pretty much unheard of. I don't know anyone else that's done that. But we basically just figured out how to do it without relying on Facebook ads. Part of that is because I have a little philosophy that you can read about. I have this whole blog post called How to Build Your Empire Without Ads and what to do instead. And in it, I kind of lay out the sort of philosophy behind it. And I actually don't have anything against ads. And we started experimenting with ads just a couple months ago, we've spent very little so far, but just trying to experiment with working with them and everything. And we're much more open to it now. But when I first started out, I felt like the way I wanted to be introduced to new people that would become part of my audience wasn't just to shove myself into their social feed, and instead was this very much trust and permission-based marketing and relationship-based marketing, where someone that they already know and trusted introduced me to them as a friend. This would happen with guest posting or with joint venture webinars, where it would be someone that they already know, and trust, saying, hey, this is my friend Mariah. I want to introduce her to you. She's going to come and do a workshop for us. And there's a sort of transfer of trust there. And it felt like we were becoming friends instead of just hey, look at me. I'm in your feed. Boo, I'm interrupting something that you want to be doing. And it's not that I feel like that about all ads, but I do feel like there's a difference between the people who find you through organic marketing, and there are stats about this, that you're going to have a much higher conversion rate and just a different sort of buyer from someone who finds you through a Facebook ad versus someone who just met you through someone else or found you through a post on someone else's blog or something.
I also think too, something we never had to worry about is a lot of people I can't explain this very well. A lot of people rely on ads so heavily. We talked about at the beginning, so many people only use Facebook ads that the idea that you have organic methods is hard for them to comprehend.
Yes.
And I think those people run the risk of running into a bad ad season. So for example, last November during the election, Facebook ads basically disappeared. All of the ad space was bought up because of the election. And it's something you don't think about very often, but there are seasons in our year where ads are more expensive, or ad space becomes rare, or there's big marketing pushes, so the cost goes up. And when you have unexpected things like that, and you're relying exclusively on advertising, and all of a sudden it's way more expensive, you now have to make so many more sales to make up that difference. And it can totally throw a launch down the drain. And it can really mess you up if that's what you're relying on exclusively. So even though we do have Facebook ads that we have been experimenting with now and implementing as part of our launches, it's never our focus. It's never the only method. We still put so much energy into the organic methods that we teach.
We have resilience built into every piece of our launch, and part of that is not being reliant on only ads, or saying well, if you think that you're going to get 1,000 of your email subscribers and they're all going to come from Facebook ads, if that doesn't work out, what else did you have in place to get email subscribers? Yeah, you need a backup plan. So it's like you said, a lot of people are like, wow, how do you even run a business without Facebook ads? And it's like, well, there's tons of other stuff you can do. So there's a couple reasons why, the basis of this being like, you don't need to spend any money on ads to have a super successful launch. Like I said, we built our business into the millions of dollars before ever spending money on ads. And our students have had multiple 5-figure launches. That's like anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 in a single launch, without any money on ads. So,
and none of these people, I just want to touch on this too. You might be thinking, if you're listening, oh, well, that's because you have this huge email list. So maybe you didn't have ads because you had 100,000 people on your email list. And I just want to stop you right there that is not true. It's still not true. And it's not been true for any of our students. So we have proven from varying levels of an email list that as long as you're executing the strategies we teach on how to build a strategic following organically, then you don't need 100,000 people on your email list, and you don't need Facebook ads too. So I just wanted to touch on that in case anyone listening was a skeptic, because I get you, and was wondering if the reason it worked out for us is because we had such a big audience.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
The answer is,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
There's just other ways to hustle. And I think, no, that's a really good point. So one of the reasons that I recommend using free and organic marketing methods that first time you launch, and we're kind of talking about marketing in the way of like getting people on your email list, but also like when you're actually like launching your course and like promoting it to that email list and to your social media audience. The reason why we want you to use free and organic methods that first time is because you don't actually have a proven product yet. So sadly, what we see happen is people spend, $3,000, $5,000 on Facebook ads, and they haven't tested their launch sequence yet. They haven't tested their webinars yet. They haven't even tested their product and their messaging yet. And they haven't done any pre-sales. And they're like, they lose all that money because it's not a proven thing yet. If you can't make sales using organic methods and without spending all that money on Facebook ads, like, why would you think that you're going to magically make money because you put in the investment and you deserve to make it back? I feel like I see people selling that messaging a lot. That's like, it's the same reason people are like, if you don't invest $100,000 into your like personal development, then like you don't deserve to make it. Like, you're telling the universe you don't want it. And it's like, no, we just don't all have that much money to spend on personal development. Like, I feel like if people are trying to tell you like, well, if you don't invest in ads on your launch, then you're basically saying that you don't think it's going to be successful. No, you can still be successful. You just need to like be smart about the strategies that you're using and like be a little bit crafty, get a little bit resourceful.
What I love that you just said too was the reminder that if your warm audience doesn't want to buy what you're offering, then someone who has never met you before and just saw who's cold, never heard of your name or your product, sees your ad, they're not going to want it either.
Totally.
Most likely, because your warm audience should be the people who are ready, and your cold audience is going to be so much harder. So you really want to perfect the messaging to your warm audience before you spend any money trying to send that messaging to cold audience.
Exactly. Like, don't use Facebook ads until like Facebook ads are when you already have your funnel and your conversions like nailed down. They can help you amplify what you've already proven is successful. They can help you if you have 2 launches in a row and they both have a 5% conversion rate, and you're like, okay, my webinars are good, my emails are good, like my sales page converts, like you've tested it from your organic audience. Then you could be like, well, now I know if I got double the amount of people in, I would have double the amount of sales, and that is warranting spending money on ads. But the first time you come out with a new product, you don't know. Like, you just can't, like, you can have...
It's just a risk.
Just like, a risk.
If you have the money and you want to do it, then, like, we can't stop you. And, like, that's totally up to you. It's your business. You can totally try ads the first time around if you're willing to spend the money. I just think we've seen too often people who don't have the funds, who don't have the time, try to DIY Facebook ads and spend a lot of money and don't see the results that they want.
When they could be doing super powerful strategies like guest posting or joint venture webinars or swapping podcasts or being active in Facebook groups. They could be doing all these organic things that would really grow their audience so exponentially and grow like their trust and their authority. But instead they're like trying to figure out Facebook ads, and it just doesn't have like a guaranteed return, and it costs a lot of money to experiment. Like a lot of people kind of go to Facebook ads when they're like, well, I'm going to put in this $2,000. I really need to make it back. And it's like, there's just no guarantee. So for us, it's like, we didn't start using Facebook ads until we literally felt like we could not dump $10,000 down the drain, but we were like, if this $10,000 doesn't do anything, it's not going to like make or break us, you know?
Yeah.
So you basically have to be in that position.
Yeah. And what I want to do now is transition a little bit. We've addressed why we don't think you have to use ads and spend thousands of dollars on ads when you're launching. So what are some of the like organic marketing methods that we suggest doing instead? I know you touched on it a little bit.
Yeah. So these are all like the sort of free and organic methods that we teach in Launch Your Signature course. We really focus on like relationship-based marketing, which I talk about a lot because I think it can
I love that phrase.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it can blow up what you're doing in such a exponential way because you're using audiences that already exist and relationships that already exist, and you're putting yourself in front of an audience with, like I said, that personal introduction is worth more than any amount of money you could spend on Facebook ads by being like, hey, look at me over here. So it's like I said, it's just much more powerful. So things that we focus on are things like guest posting, which is super, super effective still. There's definitely the sort of like, what is guest posting in 2017? Well, it means a lot of different things in this day and age. That traditional guest posting is still alive and well, and our students are getting crazy, especially our Launch Your Signature course students are like, holy crap, like if I just guest post every single week, they're growing their list by thousands. It's crazy. And then we also see people swapping podcasts or swapping Instagram accounts, like doing Instagram takeovers or doing trading like Facebook Live. It's like, oh, come into my Facebook group and do a Facebook Live and you can pitch your freebie or you can talk about your lead magnet.
Like podcast interviewing is a form of a guest post in my mind. Like being interviewed on someone else's podcast is doing the same exact thing as a guest post would be, because you should hopefully be leveraging it and have a freebie that you're offering their audience. So they'll join your email list if they're interested. You've gained exposure. You've been recommended. So I definitely love the idea of talking about like what this looks like in 2017.
The same thing with cross promoting on Instagram. Like, I will post, like, I have 1,000 followers, you have 1,000 followers, but we both don't have any email subscribers. Like, how can we promote our lead magnets to our followers? And like, I'll post a link to your lead magnet in my profile for a day, and you do it for a day, and we'll see what happens.
Even like Instagram stories, like people what's the like
takeover,
Snapchat takeovers, all that stuff. There's so many different options now.
So many different ways.
It's like it's a better tool.
Than like ever collaboration before. Is like the key to all of this. Like that is how you build your business. It's all about, I know people say like business is all about relationships, but it's so true. Like it's just about collaboration and like coming together.
People ask us this a lot too in like mastermind situations that we've been in, where people want to know like the fastest way or like the highest ROI or like what's the one thing I could do that would really
without
take this to the
experimenting.
next without experimenting. And to me, it's anything with collaboration, like whether it's a joint venture webinar or a swap or anything like that, a podcast interview, like that type of collaboration where you're being exposed to another audience is just like the best thing you could do.
So high ROI. Anyway, so we talk a lot about that. We teach you how to do all that stuff. We also talk about giveaways, like doing a viral type giveaway. We're doing one right now as we record this.
While we're recording this.
Our giveaway is going viral, and I keep refreshing it as we're talking. I'm
glad to know you're focused on the podcast.
I have to multitask. No, just kidding. No one can multitask. But doing viral giveaways is a really great way to build your list, and also just expose a whole new group of people to your course and your name who don't know who you are yet. We also talk about joint venture webinars and using social media. So a lot of people have like some sort of following in social media, but they haven't translated it into a list yet. And you might not be sure how to do that, but there's so many ways that you create really valuable lead magnets, which are like freebie opt-ins that people can trade their email addresses for, promoting those on social media in the correct way so that people are coming over from social media onto your email list. And then in terms of the actual like promotion of like getting people to buy. We of course rely on things like webinars, email sequence, doing social media series, which is like how we do 10 course tips, something like live streaming, giving a lot of value, urgency, all that stuff. We talk about all that stuff in the free video workshop.
When this podcast episode airs, we will also be in the middle of our 10 course tips, I think, won't we?
I think so, yeah.
So,
or it'll be in some of those ways. I mean, we talk about all this stuff in the free video workshop too, that you can also watch right now at launchyoursignaturecourse.com. So we talk about like those actual like conversion vehicles for like, how do you actually get people to buy? And the basis of all this is just that ads are not a necessary part of this ecosystem unless you want them to be. And there's definitely people out there who are like, if you don't spend money on ads, and like you'll never make $1. Like if you don't spend money on ads, then like you're sending the message to the universe, like you don't deserve to earn anything. It's like, no, you can just use other methods, and we're proof, and all of our students are proof, because we don't teach Facebook ads. So like all of our students are having these amazing launches, and you can see all their case studies on launchyoursignaturecourse.com. They're not using ads either. So yeah, it's like you see organic. All these organic launches, and I just feel like, you know, it's important to spread the word that there's another way to do it where you're not risking a lot of cash on something that's not going to work. Like this is why, like I try to be so strategic. I don't want to say I'm risk averse, because I do like taking risks in business, but I don't want to take unnecessary risks. So that's why we do things like pre-selling. That's why we rely on these that's why we build resilience into our launches, where it's like, well, there's 10 different like levels of redundancy. So like if the webinar fails, there's always the Facebook group, or if the emails don't send, we can still contact people in the Facebook group, or like whatever. There's all these levels of like repetition and redundancy in case something fails. There isn't going to be this like critical failure. And I feel like I just want people to know that they don't need to rely on Facebook ads. And if you can totally have a wildly successful launch without them, and without that sort of scary like outlay of, okay, I'm spending $2,000. I hope I make it back.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the free video workshop a second ago. And for those of you who don't know, when this goes live, all of the videos have been out. I think 2 of them will have been out. But we have a 3-part video series workshop, mouthful, that we do once a year. And it's amazing. How many people watched it when we released it in the fall?
Do you remember how many
people saw?
Thousands of people. At least like
it was a lot.
5,000 people. Yeah.
We got amazing feedback, and you can only watch these like once a year when we have them live. And Mariah, do you want to share a little bit more about what they can expect to learn in the workshop and why they should register? It's free, by the way, if I didn't say that.
It's free at launchyoursignaturecourse.com. And the first video is all about the concept that I sort of created called copy stalking. It's all about like, I show you an actual spreadsheet of how to do research about your course topic and how to validate it that way. So if you're sitting there thinking like, how am I going to find my students? Like, how am I going to know if this is a good idea? How am I going to validate that people actually would want this? I show you how to find your course topic through copy stalking, and I walk you through all the spreadsheets that you need in order to do this. And then the second video, we talk about the 5 like big tips of creating big tips. Like, why do they have to be big? I don't know.
They are big.
The 5 tips of like how to create your course content. So there's a lot of things about course content. People assume more is better. People assume it has to be super fancy. People assume people want hour-long videos, and none of that is true. So I go through how to actually create course content that people will love and gets really good results for your students. And then the third video is all about how we actually launch. So everything we're talking about with like the urgency, the webinars, the emails, actually go through how you're going to use all those in your launch and how you can layer those things together to create a really successful launch your first time. And really for as a takeaway for today, I just want you guys to remember to focus on building those real relationships with partners and collaborators in your space. And I just feel like it's more fun. And I do feel like, as an overall thing, we see a lot of people relying on Facebook ads because it means they never have to talk to anyone. It means they never have to get out of their Facebook. It means they never have to get out of their comfort zone. They're like, oh, I'd rather just spend money on Facebook ads. Then I don't have to pitch a joint venture co-host, for a webinar. Then I don't have to face the fear of being rejected. Then I don't have to feel awkward emailing this person that I admire. But guess what? That's where the best stuff happens. So don't like hide behind a Facebook ad. Just be yourself and go out there and talk to the people in your industry that you think you could provide value to, and focus on those relationships more so than hiding behind the Facebook ads.
I love that. It's such a good note to end on. So definitely go to thefemshow.com/34 to the show notes to this episode and find links to all of the resources we mentioned, including how you can sign up for the free video workshop. I actually misspoke earlier. When this episode goes live, all 3 videos will be out. Woo! So you'll be able to watch all 3 and catch up, and you'll definitely want to do that. So you can get the link for all of that at thefemshow.com/34. And if you want to discuss this episode with us and our community of awesome entrepreneurs, make sure you join our free Facebook group at thefemshow.com/community.
And if you like this episode, subscribe to the Femtrepreneur Show on iTunes and leave a rating and a review. We really, really appreciate it when you guys do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us your thoughts, and remember to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you guys have questions for us, we're always happy to answer them. We'll give you a shout out on the show. Just go to thefemshow.com and submit your question so we can answer it live.
Are you recording?
I'm recording. I don't know why. I just like put my hands up. Like I'm like communicating with an alien or something. Like, what was that? It's like, I'm ready.
I liked it.
I don't know.